So, oh, okay, recording in progress. There we go. Okay, no, I had to hit the little button. So we've got one time a week. It's usually Thursdays, but we have 2 officers and a sergeant. They're going out and coming in contact with the business owners and community members on Santa Clara in the afternoons. So that's just a little extra patrol that we've been doing down there. One of the downtown teams is focusing specifically on Roosevelt Park, and they've been out there doing foot patrol. Hopefully you are seeing them and seeing some kind of difference. And then the big thing we've been dealing with in Central Division for the last couple of weeks is the protests at City Hall, and they were marching to Cesar Chavez. And now that Cesar Chavez has Christmas in the park, they have been, I guess the last time they marched over to Roosevelt Park. So that obviously affects your area. We had to shut down Santa Clara Street on the Sunday when they protested for about half an hour when they walked to the park, and then a half an hour when they walked back from the park. Luckily, that was a Sunday afternoon, so it wasn't too busy downtown. So we were able to just kind of let them use the street and do their march. Other than that, things have been pretty consistent. It's Christmas time, or sorry, the holiday season. So stuff does pick up. The robberies, the burglaries, criminal activity tends to pick up this time. I know our crime prevention unit spoke last month about some of the things you can do to protect yourselves, your home, your vehicle, and your items. And this is when it really starts to pick up. So everyone needs to be vigilant and continue to call us and let us know when criminal activity is occurring. And of course, we do our best to get out there in as timely as a manner as possible. Sometimes it doesn't seem too timely, but we do our best. So I think that's pretty much it as far as updates, and I can open it up for questions. David, your food looks good. Is that pizza?
Not fair, not fair. You have to share with the crowd. I'll start off with the questions. Any particular hotspots or focused activity from any particular criminal groups in the area that you can speak about, or hot type or crime spikes of particular types?
You know, I always go up to our burglary unit and our robbery units, and I look for some of the sprees, the strings in our neighborhoods. Really what we're just seeing is we're seeing a lot of the car 459s, the car burglaries. People are leaving stuff in their vehicles, and tis the season, packages, presents, etc. The cars are getting broken into, and of course cars are getting stolen. It tends to pick up this time of year. When I look at my crime charts, everything seems to go like this through December, and then January tends to go down a little and then picks up again in summer. But that's why everyone needs to be extra careful. Nothing visible in their vehicles. Keep the electronics even out of your trunks, because the criminals look for the Wi-Fi, and no devices are in the cars and break into the cars. And then of course the package thefts pick up. San Jose PD really doesn't do anything for the package thefts. I'm going to tell you that outright. We're not out investigating them. There are too many of them for us to even look into. So it's just really being vigilant. If you see a package on your neighbor's door and you know your neighbor, get the package, bring it in for them, send them a text. Hey, when you're done with work today, come get it for me, etc. It's really just looking out for each other at this time of year.
I might point out that regarding package thefts, mail, all of that, if it's a U.S. postal theft, I advise people you can file a report with the postal inspector, and they take this stuff seriously. I actually had a package theft. It was some coffee, big deal, but this was 4 or 5 years ago, and I filed it. They took the report, and got a report number and everything. So they do investigate. It doesn't mean you're going to get anything back, but again, I think it's important to emphasize to people, if something happens to you, report it, so you get your, so that PD knows about it. Because if something happens to me And I don't bother to call the police department. I can't come crying to you, Captain Tibaldi, or your sergeants or lieutenant. You guys don't do anything. What happened? It doesn't show up. If you don't know about it, like you say, it didn't happen. So I do not want to hog all of the questions. There's got to be questions among the crowd. So unmute yourself. You don't have to raise your hand. There's only 13 of us right now. So just, if you have a question, just unmute yourself and start talking.
Hi, it's Karina Medina. We had a little email exchange, Captain, a couple days ago. Nice to meet you. Sorry, I told Jeff earlier, I'm like, I just got off from work. I don't look the greatest, so there's no video, but
It's fine.
so thank you again for joining. And I know, like, I've been all over the place, so I made time to make sure I was here just because I understand it is the season and it's unfortunate. But I guess the question I have is, as far as like police patrol and like police presence, I know you mentioned that you have some overtime, out there, but as far as like the neighborhoods, I live on North 25th and we've been seeing a little spike in things, and I guess a lot of just suspicious people in the neighborhood that we definitely know aren't from around here. So going back to like the whole package thieves and whatnot, I guess my thought process is the more presence that we have, just officers patrolling the area, I think it would potentially deter people from wanting to just walk up to someone's house. So what is the stance on that right now? Like, are you having officers in between the neighborhoods just kind of driving around? Because I know we had that, a couple months back, and staffing, I'm sure, is an issue, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, staffing's probably at the worst levels. It's one of the worst levels it's ever been. And in January, we're going to have more retirements, and it's going to be even worse until we can start getting some of these bigger academies graduated. We have, I think, 13 in our next class and like 23 in the class after that. So it's very slow, and things are going to probably get worse before they get better. But what I do encourage my officers to do, I hate lazy. Okay. When they're not going to calls for service, I don't want them sitting somewhere. I want them out. I want them proactive patrolling. I want them hitting hot spots in their neighborhood. I want them making proactive car stops, ped stops, getting out and talking to community members. So this is what we really encourage. And, that's great in theory. But then I look at the call response times, and we're looking at 7.5 minutes for a priority 1, which is a major emergency in progress, and about 30 minutes. It's like 29 give and take for priority 2s. The men and women, unfortunately, we only have like 5 in the area, and they go to calls for service all night long, all evening long, all day long. Sometimes in the morning they have some free time. Usually after 2, 3 in the morning, if we don't have any homicides or major crimes, they have some time. So I encourage them to drive around the neighborhoods, especially where we're seeing these activities occur. So like Jeff said, when you report it, we might not be out there for hours at a time, but it does put that dot on the map, and then we know where the problems are occurring. So during their free time, they're encouraged to go and drive around the neighborhoods and look for criminal activity. So we really do our best to proactively patrol, and I do my best with the overtime I'm given. Like I said, I have overtime for 5 hours a week on Thursdays right now in kind of like the Roosevelt Park area. And it's really just encouraging them to make the stops and make the connections. But I do encourage you, if you see the neighborhood officers in your area, get to know them, talk to them. If you see them out on Santa Clara, stop and say hello to them and get into conversation with them. Tell them where you live, tell them what's going on in your area, and then they'll take ownership. If you actually have a face-to-face and talk to them, they will take ownership for those problems, and you probably are more likely to see them around your house more often.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you. And I have actually done that a few times, because I do see some of them parked over here by San Jose High. Because I know there was an issue with some of the corners where the kids were ditching. And so I took that as my opportunity to be like, hey, I live down the street. Can I get you to like just kind of check us out? So yeah, they are pretty proactive when we meet with them, and that part I appreciate. But yeah, I get it. I feel like it's been a staffing issue for quite some time now. And it's unfortunate, but do you guys have an ETA or an estimated I guess, number once these graduating classes come out as to how many are going to be associated with our neighborhood?
So what they do is, well, we're currently in the process of redistricting. I don't know when it's going to be completed. It's been an ongoing process, but what they do is they look at call volume and they look at times of days where the calls are the greatest. They look at response times and see where in the city they're the worst. And they kind of plug officers into the beat structure based upon that. As far as our particular neighborhood, I do not know where it is in the queue, but we really need to graduate, you know, more police. I think, like I said, we have like 12 or 13 in the next class and maybe 22 after that. The class after that's looking larger. It's looking like it's 35 or so. So that's a good thing. The greater the numbers we can get in, the more likely we are to, you know, have numbers out on the street. And from there, they can, you know, put the officers out on the street to help the community. And the more officers we have out there, their response times pick up and the proactivity picks up tremendously.
Definitely. Well, thank you for that. Those were my 2 questions.
You mentioned some protesters earlier. I missed who was protesting what.
So the last 4 protests we've had have been pro-Palestine. They generally congregate at City Hall. Twice they marched to Cesar Chavez. Once they marched to Roosevelt Park. And then this last time they didn't march at all. They just stayed at City Hall. So we're generally seeing right now that crowd. And for the most part, they're extremely peaceful. And they're respectful of property, you know, and there are a couple in the crowd that are a little bit more agitated than others, but I think they were very respectful of Roosevelt Park last time they were there, and you know, we try to remind them to be respectful. So hopefully, you know, if there was any damage or anything, it was reported.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Oh, there must be more questions. Come on, gang. Here's your chance. I apologize. I'm juggling here. There's people that are having difficulty getting in, and so I'm trying to resolve the issues and pay attention to what's going on. And at 7 o'clock, we're supposed to have we've reserved 7 o'clock for the trash punks to give a presentation. I don't know who that actually is. It's a local organization. I've not met them in person. So we've got 10 more minutes. Any other questions for the captain?
I have one. Hi, Captain. Quality.
Hi.
Sandra for Roosevelt Community Center. I know we have more of the in-house population outside the building now that we have OWL. For those folks that are giving us a hard time either inside of the center or like outside, what do you suggest I do? I know like on Tuesday we had like an incident where like a gentleman was just getting loud, so you know we had to call 911 and they come out and they help us out. But I just wanted to make sure if we should be doing that all the time. I know we have some of them that just are like lingering outside the building. I just don't know how much I should be calling. That's my
Well,
question.
I mean, it kind of also depends on your comfort level and if there's criminal activity occurring. If they're in the building and you're asking them to leave and they're not leaving, I would definitely call us.
Okay.
If, you know, I mean, it's your comfort level. If they're having a major mental health episode and outside and screaming and, you know, scaring families or children, that might be an instance where you call us and help. A lot of the businesses in, you know, the area obviously have to deal with the same thing. And they tell us that like our employees are working on their verbal judo. They try to, you know, be kind and escort the person out and see if that works and, you know, try all the different means to do it. And when they absolutely can't do it, they give us a call. So, you know, it's based upon your comfort level. It's based upon, is the person, do they appear to be under the influence of alcohol or stimulants or, you know, narcotics? Do they appear to be having a mental health, you know, episode? are they committing a crime? So you just got to triage it and do what you're comfortable with. If there is a crime in progress, you know, we will get there as soon as possible. If, you know, it's someone who's maybe screaming or talking to themselves or acting erratic, if MCAT is available, they triage those type of calls and they look for them. They work from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and they respond out, and maybe they can help and offer some services. And if things are picking up, we're going to want to work with Beautify SJ, well, for the trash and the blight, but more importantly, homeless concerns, so they can help with offering services, housing, etc. So that's one where we definitely want to bring the council member. Daniela's here. We can bring her office into it, and they're great with working with those other entities and getting people out there to address the concerns.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we've seen a lot more action around.
Okay. How's the owl going? Is it
It's
overall?
I mean, it's like the third week, so I think we're still kind of working it out. Like yesterday, the thing is that we have owl and then we still have rentals in the building. So like yesterday we had like a gentleman come in and he was not part of owl and he was not part of the rental. So like he didn't want to leave the restroom. So he was having a hard time. He was shaving in the restroom, so he made a whole mess. Finally my staff told them, if you don't leave, we're gonna call the cops. But he was very adamant. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay inside. So we've had, and then there was like another individual too that was inside the building and stuff like that. But they finally got him out, and we didn't have to call the cops. But I do see them lingering around. We see more of them sleeping outside the building. So that was one of like my concerns, just because the weather is going to start to get uglier, and they do sleep in front of the building. So, sorry, my kid just walked in. So yeah, so I mean, we're taking it day by day and then just kind of trying to like figure out what to do and stuff like that. I know a lot of them sleep in front of the building, so I just wanted to check in with you to see what is that protocol, because I know I'm just more worried about them blocking the door when we have like the facility, when somebody's in the facility, and a lot of them are blocking the front door.
Yeah, if they are blocking the front door and, you know, you ask them to move and they're not cooperative, then I mean, you can call us, especially in the early morning when call volume isn't that high. Maybe the beat officer can walk out and encourage them to move and kind of, you know, tell them, hey, you need to go.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like if they're inside, we can trespass them. So there are certain things that they can do based upon where they are and what's going on. But I mean, if you are in fear or you're having problems with them, they're getting combative, etc., I mean, definitely just call us.
Okay, I will. Okay, thank you.
Just a quick question for you, Sandra. I know Home First runs that OWL building. Are they supporting you at all with talking to the unhoused individuals that are there?
Yes, they are, but they don't want to go inside. They already try to do like provide different resources for them to come inside. The thing is that the folks that sleep in the front have a lot of stuff with them. So owl is, I mean, they can technically only take like a backpack or like a bag or like a small item with them. These individuals have like a whole cart. So like that's what they're creating, like more trash. So they don't want to go inside because of course they probably think that somebody's going to steal whatever they have outside. And that's why they don't want to go inside. But I know I do have seen the case manager go outside and try to see if they can come inside, but they don't want to. Yeah, it's either they're in the front or they're like on the side of the building next to the park restrooms. Yeah.
And I'll let the team that I told to focus on Roosevelt Park, it is a day shift team. It's Sergeant McMahon. So I'll, when I'm done here, send an email to him and tell him about the issue and see if his team can get out there early mornings and maybe help you with that.
Yeah, because I mean, once like 6, and then right now, like the time difference, like, you know, it gets darker early. So like by 6 o'clock, like right now when I left, like all their stuff was outside. And like they have like a pile of stuff outside. And I know they are pretty good about like picking it up and being out of there by like in the morning when the center opens. Like they're cleared out everything and stuff like that. So they put their stuff like on the side by where the park restrooms is at. The other one that we have, I've talked to Daniela already, is the one that's by the rink. So the individual that's by the rink, it's right in front of the rink. He has a lot more trash and he's sleeping there. So we've tried to remove him. He's not aggressive, he's not combative or anything, but I just don't think he's like, he knows, like when we tell him like, hey, you gotta go, and he's like, okay, yeah. But that's all he says. And there's like a lot more trash and stuff like that for that one. I did reach out to Homeless Concerns and SJ Beautify again, to see what they can do. It's just that we have customers parked there. We've had our like special events this past weekend, and like, you know, there's a lot of trash there too. So yeah, so we're just working it out.
Thank you. Any final questions for the captain? Okay, Captain Tabaldi, I wanted to again publicly thank you. I want to make sure that the last month I was astonished when we had the presentation. I thought it was just going to be the crime specialists, and we had, my gosh, we had the 2 patrol officers. I think there were 6 or 7 from San Jose Police Department that were at the meeting, and I really appreciate of that. That goes a long way to showing showing what that San Jose Police Department is some detached department that, you know, just responds to 911 calls. So again, thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to, I don't see the next person here. So Daniela, do you have anything from that you want? You're not on the agenda, but you're always on the agenda. Do you have anything you want to share?
Yeah, I have a few things that I can share with you
Go ahead.
all. Just what we've been working on here in Councilmember Torres's office. So we just had our big Christmas tree giveaway event on Saturday. We gave over 1,000 Christmas trees. I think it was like 1,300, 200 or something. Or we had extra ones that ended up coming in the shipment, and it was really great. We reached out to all our schools, our organizations, our community centers, and asked them to refer 10 to 15 families that, you know, they believe needed the Christmas tree, or, you know, didn't think they could afford it, or, you know, they knew that they struggled more financially. So we were able to target our guests that, you know, really would benefit from a free tree. And then we also gave out food baskets, and it was like a kit to make pozole, which was a chicken and hominy and chile. And then we also had like a big toy table, so all the children that were present were able to choose a toy. So it was a really good event, and you know, Councilmember Torres plans to do this annually, so we're excited about that. And then on Sunday, we did partner with Roosevelt, and they also gave out trees. I won't take away from Sandra if she wants to talk about it more, but we provided the trees for Roosevelt there, and they also had families come and pick up the trees, and it was a nice event. And then just some other things. The Signia Tower, I don't know if you guys heard, but it is going to be given to San Jose State and to our San Jose State students. So one of the towers of the Signia Hotel is now going to be for our San Jose State student housing. It's you know, actually going to open in like April or March. I know it's like really soon, sooner than we knew, but it's going to be beautiful to have our San Jose State students, you know, even more occupying our downtown. It's what our businesses need, and, you know, just makes a more safe, you know, community environment in downtown. And then also Councilmember Torres and the mayor participated in a press conference last week about the 1.5 million to our Clean Gateways program. And what that program does, it focuses kind of like on cleaning up our heavily trafficked intersections and the corridors that serve as like our gateways into our downtown. So one of them is actually Ullum Rock, and then East Santa Clara down towards the Guadalupe. So a lot of them surrounding downtown. So we're excited that, you know, our freeway entrances and exits that are surrounding our areas are going to be beautified and cleaned and maintained as well. And you know, they were out there planting trees, putting in flowers and mulch and grass, and cleaning up trash, and some encampments were also removed. So that happened last week. And then also Councilmember Torres was able to his budget document of 35,000 to a gun buyback event happened last week as well. I didn't get the last count, but I think Supervisor Otto Lee just posted it, so I'll have to go check. But they were able to collect a lot of firearms at this event, and it was at the Reed Hillview Airport. We collaborated with our county sheriffs and our Supervisor Otto Lee's office, and our district attorney's office as well. So that was great. And then I think that's about it on my end. I'm not sure if anyone has any questions. I know 17th Street is really bad. We're aware of it. I know that the tents are actually blocking the sidewalks, and we've been pushing on our homeless concerns and Beautified to go out there and do some outreach as soon as possible. And we are also working with our DOT department to see if we can make that side
No
a
parking.
no parking or permitted parking or some kind of, something different. We don't know how much that'll fix the problem of people parking their RVs there, because they're still putting tents there. So even people without RVs are occupying that space. But technically, encampments are not allowed to block a right-of-way sidewalk, and I think right now they are. So that does prioritize them to be abated. I'm not sure how fast they are moving right now, the Beautify team, because of the weather and the rain and the holidays, but they are aware of it, and I've been, making sure that they're aware that it's grown in the past few weeks. And then also, I know Bekesto Park is a little bit near you guys. On December 13th, we're officially doing the ribbon cutting for the playground there. It's been closed for a while, and they just got a new playground in that park. So December 13th at 4 o'clock, we'll be there doing a ribbon cutting for the brand new playground. Any questions? I think you're on mute, Jeff.
Sorry, thank you. Does anybody else have any questions for Daniela? I appreciate the update, Danielle. Thank you very much. If not, we're going to turn it over to Justin Imamura. He's the founder of an organization that I wasn't aware of until I saw a post about a month ago. It's called the Trash Punks, and it's very interesting. And they do well. I'm going to let it's a nonprofit organization, and I'm going to turn it over to Justin to take the floor and explain what the Trash Punks are all about and how we can help. Thank you. Go ahead, Justin.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Sorry for the delay, y'all. I was finishing up a Cub Scout meeting.
It's all right. It's all right.
Jeff, can I share my screen? Is that possible? Is that cool? You got it. All right. Thank you. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here. Like Jeff said, I'm from an organization called Trash Punks. We are from San Jose. I'm actually born and raised here in San Jose. And I started an organization, a nonprofit, back in 2017. And it was a response to all of the trash that we see on a daily basis here in San Jose. Well, instead of complaining on Nextdoor or Facebook or to our local council members, I decided to do something about it because I wanted to take back the city that I'm born and raised in and love so much. And so I started this organization, and it was only supposed to be a couple, a year of just picking up trash for fun. But now here we are, 7 years and still cleaning up trash here in San Jose. So I'm just going to do a quick little slideshow for you guys of what we do. Yeah.
I think if I did it
I can
right.
do it.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah, you got it. No worries.
Super.
And I know it's Thursday evening. We're almost there on Friday, so close. But I'm gonna go through it real quick here. I have a little video I'll play for you guys. What's up, y'all? It's the Trash Punks, and we're a volunteer organization that goes around the Bay Area and cleans up trash. come join us, bring out the family. We make it super fun and super easy to volunteer. Let's beautify the Bay Area. Okay, so that is a quick little video of, unfortunately, that scene is all too familiar to everybody on this call. And we're trying our best. It's working together. We need more groups, more organizations out there doing the good work of cleaning our environment. So what we do as an organization is we do creek, waterway, park, and we also do neighborhood cleanups in the city of San Jose. And we are an all volunteer-based organization. I, as the executive director and president, I don't take any sort of payment at all. I volunteer. And so as much as I'd like to clean up trash 5 days a week, I just personally can't because I have a full-time job too. So, but these are a couple different shots of just our overall events. We also coordinate electronic waste recycling events as well. And so all that e-waste is not supposed to be in the trash can, in the rubbish. That needs to be recycled. And e-waste is anything that's basically, that has batteries in it, that has a cable or cord attached to it. That is considered electronic waste. And there is, unfortunately, there's a lot of minerals and things in there that leak and leach into the environment if they're improperly disposed. And so what we do is we do free electronic waste drive-throughs. I'm sure you're familiar with dumpster days. We kind of do the same kind of concept, but it's like e-waste days. And so you could drive up, drop your e-waste off, and be off and grab your cup of coffee, donut, and take away. So we do that. And most recently, we actually expanded outside of San Jose, and we have an arm in Kenya. Super random, from San Jose to Kenya. But this year in particular, we started a program, a global program that helps out an under-resourced community in Kenya. And so earlier this year, in March, we spent 2 weeks there to meet with the local government and also to do a bunch of different trash cleanups within a community called Iwasaniro that's right outside the capital of Kenya, which is Nairobi is the capital. And so we have a global arm out there with a nonprofit organization that's called Sabore's Well. And so that's a photo of that. This is the photo of the cleanup out there in Kenya just a couple months ago. And this week on Tuesday, we actually released a documentary. And so the documentary was, we did a big preview and screening on Tuesday. And so we're excited to do that. It's not public though. We're trying to submit it to some film festivals currently. So it's not public. You can't watch it online yet until we submit to some film festivals. But it's all about our time in Kenya and all about the community in Kenya that unfortunately has a lot of trash. In fact, they don't even have trash services there. And so we actually built that trash can right there. 26 of them were built in Kenya to clean up that community. And well, we're not going to play a game, but this is I do a presentation for schools and groups, and I try to figure out and see if they actually know where trash goes in the pile. And I'll just kind of scan through here, but this just gives a little highlights of educating people about what rubbish is, what recycling, trash, what stuff can go in the recycling, and then what stuff can be composted as well. And I'll just kind of scan through here. But this gives a little bit of highlights of what goes in your rubbish bin, dirty diapers, face masks. These are the kind of the top things that people throw away inside of the trash bins. This is what goes inside the recycling bins, the top items that go in there, and then compost, what could go in compost as well. And I thought dog poop can go inside compost, but no, it cannot. And and the reason why is because dog poop, who knows what's in their dog food. So chemicals are bad. Unless you feed your dog just grass, organic grass, then that could go in there. And then this also is a really good resource, SanJoseRecycles.org. If you're confused, like I am as well, even though I'm doing this, what can be recycled and what is rubbish and what is compostable. It's a very good resource for that. And this is something, I'm not going to show the video, but some of you may remember a show called Stomp, or a Broadway show called Stomp. Yes, I see some nods. This is a show that I show a lot of our different groups that we do presentations on, to show that you could turn trash into instruments. And I actually have a couple friends in the show Stomp years ago, and actually they're in this video, but I kind of show the kids about what they could do to recycle properly, or to turn trash into instruments. So, just a little clip, kind of fun. I wish they'll come back to the San Jose. Hopefully they will. I know they're on tour again, so hopefully they'll come back to San Jose. But lastly, I'll end with the fun topic of poop. Right here is animal dung that was found that's in Kenya. And in Kenya, they repurpose everything, including dung that's on the ground. And so what the teacher does in this particular classroom is she has the kids guess what animal the dung is from, and the kids get to guess it. The one in the top right-hand corner is actually elephant dung poop, and they actually use that. It's big enough to use as a soccer ball, because they don't have soccer balls where we went, and so they kick around the elephant dung. And then the bottom second one in, that's kind of white, that's actually hyena dung. And hyena dung, the reason why it's white is because they digest everything, including the bones. And they actually use the hyena dung as chalk for their chalkboard. So they're consistently repurposing things that you would never, ever know. So, yeah, but I'll just show you a couple little quick things, and then I'll be done talking here. This right here is a biogas bladder. And so what the teacher does is she sends home her students with a recycled container. And in the recycled container, she has her students pick up all the dung on their walk back to their home, which is about 5 kilometers. Imagine your 6-year-old or 10-year-old walking 5 kilometers with a group of students, and they have to pick up the dung on the way and the dung on the way back to school. Because what they do is they will take the dung, they'll put it in this little pipe here in this bladder, and it produces gas. And this gas through that yellow piping goes and powers the burners, which allows them to eat in their school. So imagine that being your school cafeteria. And then right then and there, you got a couple ways that they do math there with discarded corn. That's a recycled bottle there that they use. And that is it. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here tonight. And I'm open to any questions that y'all may have.
Justin, thank you very, very much. I'm almost ashamed that you've been around for so long, and what, I question myself, how come I haven't heard about you guys and what you're doing? Because obviously we all know about the trash and recycling and the issues here in this city, which are common to any major metropolitan area, and the work that after I saw somebody, one of my neighbors posted a link, I think it was on Facebook about a month ago, about the trash punks. And oh my goodness, at first I thought, oh, this is just, some silly thing. And then I thought, oh, it's for real. And then I did some research, and I was amazed that I hadn't heard of what you're doing. So I look forward to working with you in our neighborhood, working with you on trash. So any other has anybody ever heard of them here?
We need to do better marketing.
Yeah.
A lot of our, again, we rely generously on our donations, and actually through a lot of companies that corporately pay their employees to come out to our events. And with that, you know, a lot of our funding just goes into buying our implements like litter sticks and trash bags. But also, we are partnered through the City of San Jose Beautify SJ program as well. And so they help us out tremendously.
Okay.
So without them, we wouldn't be able to do as many events as we do currently.
That was my next question. Are you working with the city on this? And I'm glad to hear that. So
Yeah.
so you've partnered with them. So if I bring up Trash Punks and I'm dealing with, they're going to say, what the heck is that? They'll know who you guys are.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Beautify SJ knows very well of us.
Okay.
And without their support, we could not do the good work that we do. And yeah, and I'm sure they work with y'all too on the dumpster days. And if you're organizing your own trash cleanup in your neighborhood, again, they provide all the litter sticks and trash bags and taken away. And we encourage that because, you know, we're one of, I only know of like maybe 4 other nonprofits in San Jose that do like trash cleanup. Keep Coyote Creek Beautiful, South Bay Clean Creeks Coalition, and Guadalupe River Park Conservancy. So really, those are the big ones that are doing events on a consistent basis. I wish we could do events ongoing. We're just not quite there to fund myself and our staff. And so we need to, you know, be respectful to people's time. Yeah, David, you have a question?
I do. If I wanted to participate, where would I go to learn when your events are?
Yes. So you could go to our website, which is thetrashpunks.org. I'll put it in the chat here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put a direct link to where you could sign up to be on our form to sign up, and I will add you to our email list. And then you'll be notified about all of our upcoming events. And don't worry, we're not going to spam you and send you emails every single week. We only send you emails if we have something to tell you. And it's usually if there's an e-waste event or a trash event coming up, or something that we feel like is really beneficial, because nobody likes to get, especially nowadays. Man, last week was wild with, and no disrespect to all the Giving Tuesday organizations, but that was too much.
And Justin, if you could, if events are coming, I'm pretty sure I've signed up to be on your mailing list, but if you want, and I'll double check that, but if you send me anything, I'll make sure that it gets out to through our network throughout the neighborhood as well.
Of course. Yes. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And I will say earlier in the year, we did do a Roosevelt Park cleanup. And this was like way earlier in the year, like of this, yeah, I'm thinking it's already 2024.
Almost gone,
yeah, January, February. We partnered up and did an event out there with actually we did it with another corporate company, ASML, I believe. We did a corporate company. They wanted to do like a weekday cleanup in the morning, so that's what we did. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions? Comments?
I will also put my personal email in here in case any of you have any questions that may come up later. You can always reach out to me, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you have, and or at least steer you in the right direction. And we also do, we do give volunteer hours. So if you have students or if you have kids that need volunteer hours or scouts, we could sign up at any of those volunteer hours. We actually also get people from the Maine that are doing hours because they got a little bit of trouble with the law. So we'll sign up on their hours too. We have a couple people that join us for that. But thank you all so much for having me.
Hey, thanks for taking the time. I know that your schedule was tight and you were tied up in your other event. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us tonight. And I wish you and your organization, all your friends and people you work with, a happy holiday season and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good night, guys. See ya.
Okay. Next up, Rhea, are you? Did I lose you? Oh goodness. Let me see.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, you're right in front of me. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, just to set the stage again, the Roosevelt Park Neighborhood Association was selected, one of the 2 selected in District 3 and they selected a total of 20 neighborhood associations from about 200 throughout the city that were to be part of the Together SJ program. The city got a special grant from the state, and it's been quite excited. And I'm hoping that Rhea can give us some. She's going to give us a little presentation on the survey and talk about what this is all about. So Rhea, you can go right ahead, and you can, if you have a presentation, I've given share capability to everybody, so you can just do it directly.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
Sure.
I'm just going to go ahead and get the presentation
we go.
started. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep,
Okay.
sure enough.
Let's go to the top here. Alrighty. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Rhea Pawar. I just joined the mayor's team about a month ago, and my main focus will be on this new program called Together SJ. So for those of you that don't know, this is a program that is funded through a grant that the mayor applied for through the state, and we selected 20 pilot neighborhoods. There's about 200 neighborhood associations in San Jose. About 90 of those applied to be part of this grant, but we only selected 20. And what this program aims to do is just to help better connect neighborhoods, get the residents more engaged in their neighborhoods. And we have a couple resources, whether it's physical resources that we can bring, and another huge resource is more staff time. So you guys will have a dedicated Together SJ representative who will kind of help implement the program better into your community. And for your neighborhood, that's going to be me. I will be working with 5 districts. I have districts 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8, and I have basically 2 neighborhoods in each of those districts. The other neighborhood that was selected in District 3 is Downtown Together SJ, and that consists of a couple condo buildings. Just to kind of introduce some of the staff that you guys will be working with, we have Matthew. He's our Deputy Chief of Staff, and he's the Director of Neighborhood Outreach. So if there's any questions that I can't answer because I am still pretty new, I'll be reaching out to Matthew to make sure you guys get a response. And then we have Aiden, who is the District 3 lead. I'm sure you guys have met her a couple times before. And then we have me and Myrna, who are the new members for Together SJ. We like to look at Together SJ into 3 steps. We have the base level, we have curriculum, and we have retesting. We've just completed the base level, which was the surveys. We were pushing those out into all the neighborhoods just to kind of get a base level understanding of what the community is like, what their needs are, and what their top concerns are. So now that the surveys are out of the way, we're moving on to the curriculum portion, which is kind of giving a quick little presentation to present the survey results, and then kind of ask you guys, what do you want to see with the next coming months happen in your neighborhood? And based off of those concerns and, so to speak, demands, we can kind of move forward with what resources we can actually bring. And then to conclude the program, since this is a pilot program, we'll be retesting. So we'll be sending out the same survey again to see if there was actually any change. And we're hoping there will be. We have been able to get, in some neighborhoods, they're moving a little faster with getting things done. So we're really excited to kind of see what we're able to do. This is something that I was just kind of going over, but to kind of expand on that more, we believe that tighter communities that are more connected, more engaged, are cleaner and safer. And they also get more resources in a sense with they know who to reach out to, they know the departments to go to, and they have a bigger voice for someone to listen to them rather than just being one person, screaming for help. We have a huge group that is able to do that. So some of the neighborhoods that were selected in this program are neighborhood associations that have been around for so long, but over the years, they've lost their engagement. They have, COVID has been a huge effect on this. Post-COVID, we've seen a lot of neighborhood associations have a decline in attendance. So we're trying to bring that engagement back up in these communities. We have different ways to do that. We have a budget set for marketing. We have a budget set for physical resources. So each neighborhood will be able to get like 175 litter sticks, garbage bags, doggy bags. There's a huge list that we're working through right now with Beautify to kind of purchase those items and give out to the neighborhoods so they have these to keep for their own. So moving on into the survey responses, everyone in the community responded in English. We did have a total of 52 responses for Roosevelt. The base was 50. That's the minimum we needed. So you guys did reach that. Some neighborhoods didn't reach the 50 minimum, but you guys did. So everyone responded in English. And out of the people that they know in the community, this was really surprising to me because I think compared to all the other neighborhoods I've been working with, there's a lot of people that don't know the names of their neighbors. So everyone in this community is pretty well acquainted with each other, which is a really great starting point for us. This is another question on how many times have you spoken with neighbors in your community? And again, it's really nice to see that everyone is very well connected in the neighborhood. This next question is about how involved are you in your neighborhood association? So we can see a very small percentage of people are very involved. We do have people that are somewhat involved, but our goal for the next few months is to kind of just close that gap of people that are never involved or were involved or they don't even know there was a neighborhood association. So we have a couple ideas on how we can increase engagement. Once again, that is a lot of marketing stuff, but we really want to spread the word out that this is your neighborhood association and this is why it's important to be involved. This is how many people have participated in a neighborhood event, whether it's National Night Out, a cleanup, or any type of social event you guys have had. So more than half of the people have not participated in an event. So once again, our focus through the next few months is to close these gaps that we are seeing. I'm not too surprised with the results on this question. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how safe is your neighborhood? So most people are leaning towards in the middle and towards not very safe or not safe at all. This is a public safety concern, so we are working together with a lot of neighborhood associations on what are the things that we can do. Some people in the neighborhood associations have great ideas, so we're always open to ideas as to what are some things that you would like to see to make your community safer. Crime prevention. I know we have the captain here as well today, and they attend all the meetings, give crime reports. These are obviously really important resources. Some other neighborhood associations don't have that engagement. They don't know who to reach out to. So we're just kind of helping bring city hall resources to the neighborhoods.
So, hey, Rhea, if you could just go back to that just for a second.
Sure.
So, I'm actually surprised that it was this good, because if I look at it, it's roughly 80%, very safe to the middle, and 20% not safe, the 1 and 2. So that's skewing towards people feeling safer. I know.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, we gotta push that ultimately to very safe, but that seems, if I can't remember what the numbers look like or what the spread was on the other presentation that I saw. Do you just offhand, do you know how this possibly compares with any of the others survey results from other neighborhoods?
Yeah, so in some of the other neighborhoods, we tend to typically see the same trend in the 10 that I've been working with. People are kind of in the middle. And I don't know if that's because they've either lived in their communities for so long, have not seen any change, so they're just kind of dealing with it, or if it's because they genuinely just don't know how to rate their community, in comparison to the rest of San Jose. So having a high response for their number 3 is pretty common in a lot of the neighborhoods. Certain neighborhoods like Plata Arroyo, which is in District 5, they have a bigger shift towards 1 and 2. There's other communities in District 8, like Creekside Evergreen. It is a safer community. They're more towards 4 and 5. So it's just geographically, where is the neighborhood located? What district are they in? It definitely obviously affects the responses for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then how clean is your neighborhood? This is a big shift towards the 1, 2, 3 side. It's not very clean. There's a lot of resources within Together SJ that we're able to provide to kind of help this out. Dumpster days are one. It was wonderful that the Trash Punks presentation was right before this. I didn't know of them before, but we're hoping to connect, a little more with Together SJ with them. So that would be cool. But like I said, there's physical resources for beautifying the neighborhood that are available, which we'd like to bring out to the communities and kind of organize cleanup events. So you don't have to constantly go to Beautify to organize something. We want to give you guys the tools that if you see something wrong, let's say there's graffiti, you have the graffiti kits to go do it right away if you don't want to wait, This is another thing, which I know Jeff is very passionate about as well. It's about bringing CERT more into neighborhoods, so emergency preparedness. A lot of people, once again, are kind of, in this community, we did see a higher response for people in the fours that somewhat prepared for an emergency, but a lot of communities are not. And we're just trying to spread more knowledge and information about CERT and the different, ways it can help you. So we're really trying to push that into all the neighborhoods. This is also something that we're not so surprised with. How effective is City Hall at addressing the quality of life issues in your neighborhood? I know the top concern in Roosevelt was homelessness, which we will get to at the end. And if there's an issue and you're not seeing change in it, it's going to be reflective, obviously, over here. So we're just trying to make, with Together SJ, connect resources better, connect departments to make them more cohesive and working better together, because that's something that we've been seeing, lack of communication, miscommunication. So that's something that we're all trying to work on to improve. This is, have you ever used 311 to report any type of issue in the neighborhood? This is the biggest response I've seen. 75% said yes, which is wonderful. I know 311 is a huge hit or miss for some people. Some people have used it and they said it doesn't do anything. Some people have a lot of success with 311. So we're just trying to find ways to improve that within the coming year. We have been working with IT to make it a little better. There's always room for improvement. So that is something that we are working to improve if you had any, bad experiences using 311. And this is the most important question, in my opinion, of the survey, which is, what is your top concern? As you can see, a lot of people have put homelessness, a lot of people have put public safety and blight as an issue. And this is something that we've seen across all the neighborhoods. These are the top 3 concerns. For homelessness, it's such a huge problem that we're seeing here in San Jose. And what I really want to address here is that we want to make sure the communities know how to mobilize together to make sure that we can fight homelessness the right way, whether it's reaching out to, council members, county supervisors, state levels, because we need to make sure all levels of government are working together to tackle this, because we want to make the community safe. We want to make sure that these unhoused individuals are getting the help and resources that they need. But yeah, so as I talked about trash and graffiti, the blight issues and beautifying the community, that's something that we'll be working on actively with Together SJ, public safety and emergency preparedness. Those are our main goals. And that's kind of what we want to do and bring those resources to Roosevelt. This is just, once again, letting you guys know that at the end of this, we will be retesting to see if there's been any improvement. How do you guys feel in your communities now? And this will take place probably next year in June. And that's it from me. If you guys have any questions, please shout them out. There's also my email, Aiden's email as well. If you guys have more specific questions, please feel free to reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to help you guys out.
Thank you very much, Rhea. Again, let's open it up for questions from the floor, the virtual floor.
No questions.
Nope.
I did amazing. Oh, David has one.
Yeah. So you said you've done the survey. You did. I assume essentially presenting this to us is that second sort of step, the curriculum. What is your next step of engagement? Like
So
I'm not clear what your next steps are.
Yeah, so what we've been doing now is we wanted to get the surveys out to the neighborhoods as kind of like a thank you for taking it. This is how your community ranked. And we don't want to decide the next steps for you guys. We want you guys to let us know, what do you want to see done first? Do you want more cleanups in your neighborhood? Do you want more engagement in your neighborhood association meetings? So what are the ways that we can increase that engagement for the monthly meetings, have more people come out? Maybe you guys want to see more social events. Maybe you guys want to connect better as a community. So whatever you guys kind of want to see happen, we're going to try our best to make that happen.
And how will we communicate to you that is what we collectively want?
You got a
Yeah,
little-
so we're at the next meeting will be in January. So what we're doing is we're creating kind of a calendar of events for all the neighborhoods of what events we'd like to hold. And if that fits into you guys' schedules and stuff, obviously we'll have to coordinate that with everyone in the community. We'll either send out emails because we have that information now from the survey. So we will directly communicate with you guys, with Jeff, to kind of bring that out to you guys. And then I'll also put my email here if you guys had any suggestions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, David, essentially, if any ideas or issue or suggestions that you have, any of you, reach out to me. I'm collecting all these. We're trying to put together something. It's Ria's been trying to get us to do an event here in December, and it's proving to be almost, well, we're running out of time, and I just don't see how we're going to be able to do it with the holidays, and I don't want to just create something for the sake of creating something and have 2 or 3 people. So it's looking to me like it'll be after the first of the year. But again, whether you want a trash pickup or you want to have coffee somewhere or a meeting or something, anything along those lines, anything that you can think of, you can reach out to Ria, certainly. But if you reach out to me, I'm collecting all these ideas and suggestions and trying to put together and organize something that we can do together, because we want to attract all of you that are here tonight. Are generally here and very involved. So we're preaching to the choir. The idea, or what's frustrating to me, and I know what we're trying to do, is to get more people involved. And so that's really the purpose, or one of the main purposes of this whole initiative, is how do we get more community engagement with people in the neighborhood that maybe haven't been involved before, or maybe they have, but because of this pandemic, the behavioral changes, and it's not just San Jose, it's across the whole country. They found that people are doing more cocooning now. They were holed up in their house, and they're not coming out. They're sticking close, like it's still the pandemic. And so how do you get people to come out again? So it's wide open. You can reach out to Ria, you can reach out, but certainly CC me, and I'll try to put all this together, and maybe we can have some side meetings. We don't have to wait for a formal monthly meeting. We can communicate outside of the first Thursday of each month to get some ideas going. So I'll throw that out there.
And then sorry, Jeff, I just want to let you
go
know, I
ahead.
did find a little bit of a solution for having an event by the end of the year. I really wanted to find a way for everyone to kind of connect before we break for the holidays, so to speak. But I had sent you over the flyer for the other community that was selected for Together SJ in District 3. So that's called Downtown Core. And they're having a no host happy hour happening December 11th. And I'll reshare the flyer if you didn't get it, Jeff, and you can share it with everyone.
I don't recall it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and resend that to you. But
Okay,
it's from
okay.
6 to 7:30 p.m. on the Voyager side of St. Pedro Square. And it's just a happy hour to kind of connect with everybody in the community. And it's just a social event. So it's not like there'll be, a boring meeting that you guys have to attend or something like that. It's just really meant to get people together and kind of connect, which is super important. It's a huge core value, I think, of Together SJ. When people start connecting socially, they can think about things they want to do to improve their community. So that's happening December 11th.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, send that to me again.
Sure.
I don't recall seeing it, but I get so many emails and spam filled, and I try to go through the spams to pick out the ones that aren't spam, but it easily could have just fallen into the spam folder. So yeah,
Sure.
send them again. Do we have any other questions, comments? Oh, come on, gang. Okay. Thank you, Ria. Oh,
Will you, Jeff, I do have one question. Will you
Sure.
send out, and are you thinking about like sending out a couple, maybe once a month, of prompt to people on your mailing list just saying, hey, send me new ideas? Because I think I'm apt to forget through the busyness of life, but things will
Yeah.
churn in the back of my mind. If you prod me now and again, I'll go like, oh yeah, what about?
well, here's the issue. Here's the issue that I found, that I try to I try to throttle back the number of emails that I send out to my list because I do a number of different things like the crime videos and stuff, and I don't want people to, oh, there's that damn thing from Jeff again, right into the trash folder. Because I've had a few comments, not from necessarily this group, but from people, oh, usually, why are you doing all that? So I try to be judicious in when I send out my quote unquote mass mailings. And my mass mailings, it's roughly about 200 people on my mailing list. So it's not like some big, 10,000 mailing list. But yeah, I'll try to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Rhea, do you have anything else for us?
No, I don't, unless anyone
Okay.
has any other questions.
I want to thank you very much for spending time with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And next up, we've got parking compliance. Jonathan, do you want to unmute yourself? Oh, you're unmuted. Are you there?
I'm here. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey, fine. Yeah, Jonathan's from parking compliance. They're gonna be here. He's gonna. I'll just take it away. Everybody knows what you can tell what parking compliance. Tell them what parking compliance is and what you're doing.
So
sure.
my name is Officer Gastaway. I'm with the parking compliance. I'm one of the senior officers here. So in the downtown area, we have, obviously we have downtown meter patrolling, and with that we have safety and proactive safety patrolling in that area, and we also have proactive vehicle abatement patrolling around areas. It is on a it's on a rotational basis. We're not doing patrolling, the neighborhoods in downtown or in this area every day all the time. It's on a rotational basis. So we have to make sure that we hit in all the city streets of San Jose. You guys know it's pretty large. I think we have I think they say San Jose is like, I want to 100 and something miles or something wider. The area is,
I think it's 149 square miles.
149 square miles. So it's a lot of area for us to cover, and we try to cover the streets as much as we can. But I don't have any kind of presentation or anything. I'm just here because just here to give information. If you guys have any questions for me, I can give you guys, some resources of what to use, or if you have vehicle abatement issues, where you can do, or illegal parking issues where you can report those, stuff like that. I can help you guys show you the process of reporting those if you guys have any. Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan, just to confirm with everybody, I got this from Gina, your boss, the director. Parking and I give the anecdote to people on many occasions. I've over the years I've reported parking violations in my immediate neighborhood. In fact, I keep track of it, and parking compliance. And I sung the praises of parking compliance. I was amazed. It was virtually 24/7. It could be, if I spotted something at 2 a.m., I would illegally parked. I'd call it in, and sure enough, parking compliance would be there to issue the ticket. And the reason I'm so vigilant about that, the particular area that I'm concerned with, it's right next to my house. It's a no stopping area, and it used to be frequented by the drug dealers and everything. Anyway, but then the pandemic struck and everything was rolled back. And Gina informed me that I think it was as of this past Sunday or the Sunday before, that parking compliance is back to a 24/7 schedule. That's correct, right?
Correct. We are back on a 24/7 schedule. But there is some, we're not 100% at fully staffed. So we still have staffing issues. And then so things like things that we're not a dispatch unit here out of the parking compliance unit. So it's not like you can call us and we'll be able to dispatch an officer out. For things like red curbs, fire hydrants, stopping the no stopping zones, parking of bike lanes, those things you have to call the non-emergency SJPD number, right, and report those there. And then they will dispatch it out to the officers that are available to take those. Stuff like vehicle abatement issues, you report those on the 311 website. Right. And in the time zones, those ones we patrol those, on a rotational basis. So it's not like we're going to be able to be there right away as soon as you report. If someone's there and someone's there for over 4 hours, we don't have the manpower to send someone to deploy someone out to go give a ticket right then and there, citation. If that makes any sense to you, Jeff.
Yeah, there's two components to this. One is just parking violations. I understand it, and vehicle abatement is a whole separate issue, and we can talk about that. I'm talking about just the parking tickets for just what you said, red curb, no stopping, et cetera, et cetera. And I tell people, just dial 408-277-8900, and then hit key in 1 and 0, and report it. Make sure you give the location. If you've got the license plate, give a license plate number and what the violation is. And what I always do, what I advise people do, is get the incident number as well. Just at the conclusion, it would take you, 2 minutes on the phone with the 311 operator and get the incident number so you have a record of it. Again, parking compliance has usually been, very, very good from my observation of that. As far as the proactive patrolling, I don't have anything to really say about that, because you could, I never really see them in the neighborhoods. I would imagine there's more of that in the downtown core area, the commercial areas where it's really important. But the residential neighborhoods, I can't recall ever just seeing them driving around. But anyway, that's my observation. We've got a question on the floor. Go ahead. Go ahead. Reverend Rowan.
Yeah,
Fairburn.
hi.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I'm actually over at 16th and St. James, and
That's
I
fine.
have my own blue parking place because I am in a wheelchair.
Mhm.
And it is not ever clear to me whether I can call in the people who park there. I send it to my neighborhood association and say, hey guys, if this is you or one of your friends, this person has no placard or plate and they're parking my space and I can't get my wheelchair out of my van. Can we do something about this? So it's, that kind of thing, but I'm not ever sure what to do. But there are obviously people who go through because they ding me for parking too far away from the curb. Because if I get too close to the curb, then I can't let my ramp out. And so I know people come and do things, but there are people constantly, and I talk to delivery drivers. Oh no, my delivery company has told me I can park in blue spaces while I'm on a delivery. And I'm like, no, that is so not true. And I just think there's some education that could be done out there about ADA spots and the people who need them.
Yeah, so those spots, if you can reach out to the San Jose non-emergency number, like earlier stated, yeah, they'll be able to send out an officer out, but it's based on priority. So, unfortunately, yeah, so we can't we don't have the manpower to just call an officer out and tell them to go to that area and cite them or do something with that vehicle. But if you report them to the non-emergency number, we can get to them as soon as we can.
Hey, Jonathan, I thought if somebody illegally parks in a handicap zone, aren't they subject to immediate tow?
That's something I'm not sure of. I can't give you a direct answer, Jeff.
Okay. I would just again, I would personally advise, don't bother, unless it's somebody but if that happens to you, I would call the 311 number that I mentioned just immediately and just get it in the system. And I wouldn't try to be nice about it. And, find out who that's a no-no, and every driver knows that. Yeah, absolutely knows that. So
And I'm so sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
No,
Jeff.
go
Sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, them moving trucks, delivery trucks are not able to park in the blue handicap spot, even if they're delivering or anything like that. It's only for placard vehicles.
Right.
I know that, but there's an awful lot of delivery drivers who will argue it with me.
Well, again, I'm not the expert, but if I were you, I wouldn't engage with them. I would be on the phone. Let me watch my language here. I would, to heck with them. That's uncalled for. Jonathan, you want to talk about vehicle abatement? Now that's a sore subject, as I'm sure you're aware, and probably everybody on the call has some questions and experiences, including ongoing experiences. So if you could take it away on that.
Yes, so before COVID happened, we were taking reports for possible abandoned vehicles. Once COVID happened, they stopped taking all reports for abandoned vehicles and started having, so while COVID happened, vehicles have to have certain qualifiers in order for us to go out and investigate. Flat tires, broken windows, very blight issues like that, vehicles with missing tires on jacks. Then we would go out and investigate the issue, see if the vehicle's still there. We will mark the vehicle. But like Jeff said, starting November, I think it was 26, we're back out there. If we report abandoned vehicles on the 311 website, that's the only way to report the abandoned vehicles, unfortunately, is the 311 website. Report them out there and we will have an officer out to go investigate. The first step is we'll go investigate. If the vehicle's there, we'll mark it, chalk the tires to the ground, and then leave a notice on the windshield. They'll have about 4 or 5 days to either move the vehicle. If we'll have an officer go back out in about 4 or 5 days to see if the vehicle's still there. If the vehicle's still there, then we'll issue the vehicle a citation for storage on the street. And then we'll give it about another 4 or 5 days. We'll go back out again. If the vehicle is still there, then we'll impound it for being abandoned.
Does that include, are you impounding RVs or is that still off the table?
We cannot impound occupied vehicles and occupied vehicles or RVs. We cannot impound, or we cannot. All we can do with those, if they're parked in a street sweep zone or in a red zone or something like that, we can give it a citation. But that's as far as we can go. We can't impound occupied vehicles.
Okay, but again, then this is the real sore point. And what if it's unoccupied? And then the answer is you can't tell because it's an RV. Somebody could be in there and not answering the knock. And so my question is, I understand that, and although I don't like it, I understand it. Why can't you issue a ticket anyway? If you're not going to tow it and impound it, issue a ticket. And then the answer I always get is because they won't pay it. And my question then is, well, let it build up because they won't be able to register the vehicle the next year if they have outstanding parking tickets. And so I'll throw it back to you. Why not at least issue parking citations, a finable parking citation?
Jeff, we do issue parking violation citations to RVs and trailers.
No, I'm talking about if they're there for past 72 hours. It's a legal parking spot, but they haven't moved for 72 hours or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 4 months. Why aren't
we do give those citations. We offer those. Once we come back out, those vehicles are cited.
RVs, you're saying you will ticket RVs?
We do ticket RVs, vehicles, all of them, yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? I don't want to be the only one talking.
Jeff, I just wanted to mention something on the RVs. I was in a meeting with D4 the other day, and they said we're getting closer to a Berryessa safe parking location being opened. Hopefully it won't be next August like it was originally anticipated. It'll be more like May, June. They're trying to expedite it, but once they have that location open, if they have spots open and San Jose PD goes and tells them, hey, you need to move, you have 75 or 72 hours. If they don't move after that, then we can actually tow if there are safe parking spot locations that we have offered them that they refuse to go to.
Okay.
So that will hopefully change things in the neighborhood come next year, as soon as they can get some of those safe parking spots open.
Got it. Thank you. Let me just throw it open right now while we have parking compliance here. Are there any current existing pains in the rear in terms of abandoned vehicles in any of the participants in the meeting? No? Oh, okay. Good.
Jonathan, I have a question. I'm Sandra from Roosevelt. If I have an abandoned vehicle at the community center, how does that work?
Is it on private property or is it in a public street?
No, it's private. Well, I mean, it's the community center parking lot.
Also, you would have to go through the towing process yourself. Like you would have to call up a tow company, the nearest one in your area. and have it
Mhm.
impounded because it's a private property.
Wait, that's,
It's public property.
it's
It's the
yes.
city
Yeah.
of San Jose.
Yeah.
If you have posted no parking, or rather
Mm-hmm.
restricted parking signs, do you know if you have restricted parking signs, Sandra? In
We
which
don't.
case,
We
you
don't,
don't?
because technically they're by the park. But I mean, the vehicle hasn't moved like in a week. So I'm just trying to see, because I mean, just everybody parks there. All kinds of people park there because they go use a park or they go to the handball court. But we've
Mhm.
seen that specific vehicle be there for like over a week, and it hasn't moved from the same parking spot. So
Have you
which-
identified to make sure it's not stolen? Like, is there any damage to the steering column?
I have not, to be honest.
So Sandra, what you can do is you can create a case on the 311 website,
Okay.
and then one of our officers, if it's in the public area, one of our officers will go out and we'll check to see if it's a stolen vehicle, or we'll mark and tag it, and it'll have to move it. If they don't move it, then we'll impound it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks, David.
David
Um,
had a question, somebody had a question, can we define vehicle abatement? Is that?
Yeah, that was one question.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, David.
I'm just not sure what that, I mean, I hear the word, I got the
Yeah.
sense of what it means from here,
Yeah.
but what exactly does vehicle abatement mean?
Abandoned cars.
Okay,
Well, abate,
The removal of abandoned vehicles from
Right.
the public right of way.
that's
Yeah.
abatement. The word abatement means it isn't just, yeah. So, David, back to, not to cast aspersions on, well, we call it vehicle abatement, but it sure doesn't work the way it did, 10, 15 years ago, where it was vehicle. And I understand there's been a number of issues, even pre-pandemic, the tow companies just, even though they had contracts with the city, just decided that, we're not going to tow them anymore because it would end up costing them more to tow it than they could get at a sale, or, because they tow it to the yard and then it sits for, I don't know what it is, 30 days, and then they can put it up for auction or scrap it. And so they were losing money on it, even with contracts that they'd already signed with the city. So I understand that. So that was one aspect, one of the major problems pre-pandemic. So it sort of compounded. So anyway.
and then I had another question, which there was a high-speed dense exchange there about what to do with the RVs, whether they can and cannot be tagged or towed or stuff like that. And I didn't fully understand, with me as a resident, what, if anything, can I do in this process? Do I just call into or go to 311 and say, hey, there's an RV which has been parked on, I don't know, St. James for a week without moving? Is that something I can do?
So you can't call it in. What you can do is you go on the 311 website, you create an account, and then what helps us out is if you include pictures and a license plate
Okay.
and an address. So you would say, for example, there's an RV on your street there, and we're near your neighborhood. You would obviously get the nearest address to that RV. You would take pictures of the RV. You could take one picture, two pictures, however many pictures you want, just to make it clear that we can see the RV and the location of where it's at, even though you put an address. And then you can put comments there, like the RV's been parked here for weeks, hasn't moved. If there's trash around there, there's criteria you can select, trash, or flat tires, broken windows, stuff like that. And then you create the case, and then once that case is created, our officers will be deployed to go investigate it, and then we'll go out and check it out, investigate it. If the RV is still there, we will definitely mark it, and then there'll be a pink notice on their windshield that's placed there, and letting them know that there's 72 hours that they have to move the vehicle, or it will be impounded. And the bad thing about it is the occupied vehicles, or people the people that's occupying these vehicles, they know that we're not able to impound occupied vehicles. So they either don't move because they're like, you can't do anything anyways, but then we go back out and we give citations, which then will prevent them from getting registration because they have a bunch of citations on their record on the vehicle. But other than that, all we can do is just try and push that, push, just go out there and push and try to like give them like offer them resources if they need resources, if they need help, and if they don't want help, then I mean, there's nothing much we can really do but citation.
Okay, that's still good. That helps
Yeah.
me understand what I need to do.
David, and I'm going to throw in just, regardless of what the policy is or isn't at a given time in the city, I use 311. If a vehicle hasn't, I don't care if it's a RV or a little compact car, whatever it is. If I see cars and they're not moving after 72 hours, I call them, I open an account or open a ticket and send it and take the picture, just like he said. And whether they take action or not, I'm going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And if they close it for whatever reason and they don't do anything, I'm going to open it again. I just did it here. No, that was a dumping issue, a different issue. But just keep after it. Don't give up. Just just use the tools for what they are and just keep at it. That's my advice.
What would be helpful, and this is not the conversation for this meeting, but with the city manager's office and their director of information technology, the process could be a lot more efficient if we, the citizens, could close reports or cancel reports that are no longer valid, so that resources aren't spent or wasted sending people out to look at vehicles that don't exist there anymore. Same thing with, well, mostly it's vehicles, not so much dumping or graffiti or potholes, but definitely vehicles that, they moved.
Yeah.
They were there for 72 hours or a week, and after a week they moved. And you're still going to waste somebody coming out to look for it and waste time.
So
if the council member, Danielle, if the council member would like to bring this forward, it would be extremely useful to be able to cancel reports through 311.
Hey, David, let's, I'm taking that as a note, and I'm going to take that up as an issue, because I could agree with you 1,000%. That's been one of the frustrations. One of the things I do when if I call in 311 for a parking violation and the car moves, if I'm still around and I see it and they haven't come by, I take the effort to call them back and give them the incident number, whatever it is, say the car is moved. And they're always very thankful, because then they don't have to waste a parking compliance officer to go out and the car is already gone. And I've wanted that for all the issues that, whether it's abandoned car or illegal trash or whatever it may be, we should be able to close those, like you say, so they don't waste the efforts. We know it's gone, and there's no way for us to close the issue or even put a note. I think you can put notes, but they don't.
You can comment after.
They don't put
the fact.
They don't pay attention to it. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to take that as an action item.
And also
Okay.
another thing, which is code enforcement, but we're in election season now. And I'm seeing that people are not educated, haven't been educated by their candidates as to where to place their election signs. The parking strip is not the place where you put them, because that is public property and you're not allowed to put election signs on public property, whether it be the parking strip or the interchange at 101 or Alum Rock or any other public property. But especially the parking strip in front of your house is not the place where you put election signs. And people will say, well, but I maintain it. Well, that's true. You do maintain it. You're on the hook for the sidewalk, the parking strip, and the curb. And that's on your dime.
Yeah.
But still, the posting of signs in the parking strip is against San Jose Municipal Code.
Right. Thank you, buddy. Okay, we're past 8 o'clock. I'm willing to stay here till, as long as anybody wants, but I'm sure people have other things to do. Do we have any other questions for parking compliance? I'm sorry. I personally, Jonathan, even with our complaints, I appreciate the work that you guys do. I mean, it's a sort of a thankless job. You either don't so if there's a parking, the person that got the ticket is upset because, God damn it, I got a $65 ticket for a son of a bitch. They're upset. And if you don't do it, if you don't respond in time, the person that called it in, they're upset with you. So it's almost like you can't win for losing. But I personally appreciate the work that you guys do. And I wish you could get more staffing so it would take some of the pressure off the existing staffing. But anyway, thank you. And thank you for spending the time with us tonight.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Do we have hey, Gloria, are you on, can you unmute yourself? Gloria Vallejo? I wanted to ask you about the leaf pile on 23rd. I guess she's not gonna unmute. We have a specific issue with it's the time of year and the trees, oh my God, they're just dumping, tons of leaves, and the condo complex that she's in, they have all kinds of trees, and their landscaping service, they put the leaves out on the street, and that's proper. But then they're pretty big piles, and the problem becomes other people from other areas dumping more and more and more on those piles, and they get so big that green waste, they're not going to touch it because it's a non-compliant pile. It's too big. And then it goes week after week, and it gets bigger, and then it attracts people dumping garbage on top of it. So there's this particular stretch right on South 23rd between East San Fernando and East Santa Clara. It's a mountain. It's a mountain of leaves that builds up. So we've been trying to work with, trying to draw attention to it again, opening complaints with the Torres's office to try to help. And I just want to know, because today's Thursday, the pickup day, if they picked it up, because I haven't been out there yet. So anyway, Gloria, if you hear me, let me know, and we'll update. Anybody, David, do you have anything else?
There was a City of San Jose 5 Woodlands Urban Village Plan workshop last Thursday. One of the surprise things that DOT dumped on us was that DOT is considering closing the interchange, one of the two interchanges, either East Santa Clara, Alum Rock, or McKee Julian in the future.
Close what?
The City of San Jose Department of Transportation is considering closing the on and off ramps at either East Santa Clara, Alum Rock, or McKee Julian.
Oh my God.
For the future, when BART is finished,
yeah,
which many of us won't be here anymore.
Yeah, that's true. What am I worried about?
Yeah, what are we worried about?
I'm not going to live till I'm 186 years old.
Yeah. And this is 2036 and perhaps a little before that, when BART is done. But anyway, they dumped that on, or they debuted it last week, and they used the word consolidation, and I had them clarify that meant closing.
Okay, that's fast. Okay, yeah, one more.
And in fact, the planning department didn't even know about it when DOT was up there at their meeting presenting it.
The mind boggles.
Yes, it does.
The folks who did the presentation did say that had just an idea that had just occurred to them. They were just floating for initial feedback from people.
No, it just occurred to them because they passed it by me 2 weeks earlier on a one-on-one.
Ah, okay.
Okay, well.
And that was the first that they dumped it on the public, was last Thursday in a public meeting.
Okay. Any other surprise? What I was gonna say, any other surprise? They're not surprised. They're expected. These bombshells are expected. Any other bombshells? Okay. Hey, Craig, thanks for stopping by. Do you have anything for us?
No, nothing on this end. It's pretty quiet up here.
Okay, good. I love to hear it. Anybody else? Do I hear a motion? This is hardly even a a legal meeting, but if not, we'll call it a night, and I'll thank everybody for attending. I'm gonna save the recording. I guess it's saved automatically. I'll send the link out. I don't know that anybody's really gonna want to watch close to 2 hours of us jabbering away, but I'll pass that around, and I thank everybody for attending. Next month, we're gonna do it in person at the Roosevelt Center and Zoom, and I'm gonna try to run it better, a better utilization of Zoom at the meeting in person. So thank you very much. Everybody have a great holiday season, and you know how to reach me if anything comes up. Thank you. And good night.
Good night.
Night.
Night, thank you.
Thanks.